Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to Posy Lane. If you're brand new here at Posy Lane, we like to do fun, easy, doable crafts. If you're returning, I'm so glad that you're back and that we get to craft together again today. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so you're the first to be notified when a new video is up. If you go to the Dollar Tree or any craft store, fall is taking over all the shelves. All the summer stuff is starting to go away and it's getting on clearance, and you're starting to see those beautiful oranges and golds. I went to the Dollar Tree just to get inspiration, and we have 3 fun crafts that we're going to be doing today. The first one is a candle wreath arrangement with a Dollar Tree candle. The next one is a wood bead garland, just a smaller one that would look great on a table. And the last thing we're making is a woodland arrangement that will be made in the Dollar Tree mini crates. Go grab your pumpkin spice latte, let's get in a fall state of mind, and let's get crafting. Been such a hot summer, but hopefully as it gets into fall, when we have that transition, it will get cooler weather so that the leaves will change into the beautiful, gorgeous colors that I love so much. I have these leaves that I got at the Dollar Tree that we're going to be making our candle wreath arrangement with. And for the candle, I have this blank canvas here, all white candle that I found at my Dollar Tree. And for our candle wreath, we're going to be using the wreath forms, or miniature ones from the Dollar Tree that come in a 2-pack, and putting leaves all over it. Let's start with our wreath, and I'm going to use the darker leaves as the base. And because I don't want any of the metal showing, I'm going to be hot gluing them kind of uniformly just to make sure that all this metal is covered. Whenever I have a bush like this, if I can just pull the flowers or leaves off, I do that instead of cutting it with wire cutters. When you're hot gluing it, I found that's easiest just to put the hot glue on the spine of the leaf, put it down, and hold it for a few seconds to make sure that it really sticks and that that glue hardens. I have these other leaves that are brighter that are going to be great to contrast the darker leaves that we have on here, and these don't have to go on as uniform because we already made sure that all of the metal was covered. To decorate the white candle, we're going to be using vinyl paper from the Dollar Tree. It's one of my favorite craft supplies to buy there, and we're going to be using the red, yellow, and gold to make leaves. I just found an image online, printed it out, and then I traced it onto all the different vinyl. I will end up needing 3 of each color. One thing that I've noticed when cutting something that has a lot of detail out, it's easier if you kind of keep your scissors steady and you actually move the paper instead of the scissors. The leaves are all cut out and ready to put on the candle, and I'm just going to make sure that I put different colors throughout so that they're not all next to each other. Some of them I'm going to put sideways, some I'll put straight up, and others I'll put upside down just to make it look different. The vinyl paper is permanent. When you place it down initially, you're able to remove it if you don't like the placement, but after a while, it won't be able to be peeled and moved again. One of the things I love about this vinyl paper is how easy it is to smooth it out, and it doesn't have any air bubbles. It just looks so nice and clean. This is actually my first time working with the glitter vinyl paper, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a lot different than the other kind. It just seems a little bit thinner, more shiny vinyl paper. I have the candles ready, I have the wreaths ready, so now the last thing left to do is just put the candle in the middle of the wreath. It just seems like yesterday that I was using these same exact beads to make a red, white, and blue garland for the 4th of July, and now we are making a fall garland. These beads I find at Hobby Lobby in the jewelry section. They're perfect. They come in like 3 different sizes and are great for making garlands. To make one of the ends, we're going to be using this wood tag and also some wood leaves. All of this I found at Hobby Lobby for 40% off. Everything at Hobby Lobby goes on sale and rotates what's on sale, so if it's not on sale this week, there's a good chance in the next couple of weeks it will be on sale, so mine was 40% off. To attach everything together, we're going to be using this burnt orange yarn that I found at the Dollar Tree. The wood beads come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. For our pattern, we're going to do 2 small, 1 large, 2 small, 1 large. You'll need 20 small ones and 9 large ones. We're going to paint half of the small ones in this gorgeous yellow, it's called antique gold, and the other half of the small ones we're going to be painting this harvest orange. For the large ones, we're not going to be painting them, we're just leaving them this natural color. I think that they look so pretty unpainted. One of my tricks for painting these beads is to put the bead onto a toothpick, and that way I don't have my fingerprints or smudges on the bead. If you notice, there's a little bit of wood down in this bead, and that's another thing. When you put the toothpick through, it just helps clear that out, and it'll make it easier when you're stringing the bead. We're going to be leaving the tag unpainted, but we are going to be painting all the leaves. We're going to use the same harvest orange, antique gold, and then we're also going to paint one red, and this is called true red. A pack of leaves from Hobby Lobby actually came with a ton of leaves, and some of them looked more like fall leaves and some didn't. I'll save the other ones probably for spring crafts, and I'm just going to use the ones that remind me of the leaves that change color for this fall craft. The leaves are all dry now and they're ready to put on the tag. I'll place them down and make sure I like the placement first, and then I'm just going to secure them with hot glue to make sure that they stay on. I have a pretty intricate design and they're kind of small, so I'm just trying to gently squeeze the hot glue out and put it on. You don't see a lot of hot glue once it's placed onto the tag. We're going to be making a 4-inch tassel, and this book is about 4 inches, so it's perfect to use as our form. And we're going to be wrapping our yarn around it, creating loops 15 times. We're going to be taking the yarn off of the form now. You just want to be really careful when you do it because you want to make sure that all of your loops stay intact. Next, you want to take a length of the yarn and you're going to string it through the top of all the loops. And once you've strung it, you just want to tie a knot at the top, and this will be our hanger for the tassel. About 1 inch from the top, you want to wrap yarn around it. Cut all the loops at the bottom to make it look like fringe. So I'm just going to gather it all with my finger and make sure I have all the loops, and then I'll cut it. The beads are all dry and ready to string. I figured out that if I just put a little bit of packaging tape on the end, it will help it not fray. I don't want the beads to move around a lot. I actually want them to stay pretty close to each other. So to finish it off, I'm going to put probably 3 knots on either side, and that should keep the beads in place. I left some yarn on each end, and I did that so that I can tie the tag and the tassel on. We all know that the Dollar Tree has gone up to $1.25 for every item, and everyone has their own opinions about that, whether good or bad, but because it has gone to $1.25, they've brought in a lot more wood crafts and craft supplies that you can grab now, including these wood crates, and I always keep a couple of these on hand, and I love using these for mini arrangements and things. They also have come out with these wood curl roses that we're going to be using. I wanted some other natural elements, and so I found these miniature pine cones at Hobby Lobby. They were kind of near all the moss in the floral section, and then I also found this Spanish moss at the Dollar Tree. We're going to be painting our mini crates with watered down brown paint. It's kind of like using a whitewash, but we use brown paint instead, and I use equal parts paint and water. So we're going to be doing 2 tablespoons of this milk chocolate paint and 2 tablespoons of water, and the effect that it gives looks kind of like a stain. I'm stirring it and mixing it with a foam brush. To apply it, I am going to be using an old white cloth. It seems to go on better that way and look more like a stain when you use the cloth. If you do get too much paint in one area, it's easy just to go back with the cloth in a place that doesn't have the paint and just wipe it off. There's 3 areas on the mini crates that could be easy to look over and not get paint on. And one is these grooves. The other is inside the handles, and then also this top little ledge. You want to make sure you paint that. To build the arrangements, we're going to be using floral foam, and this is actually dry floral foam, and it's really easy just to cut with a butter knife. I always try to cut it so that it fits tight and secure in here and it doesn't move around. To hide the foam, we're going to be adding our Spanish moss and hot gluing it down, and we'll cover all the top, and we'll also cover these handles to make sure that we don't see it on the sides. I'm ready to add the pine cones and wood rosettes to the arrangements, and the idea I have is to add the pine cones to one corner and then the opposite corner to add the wood rosettes. I'm going to place them down first and make sure that I like that, and then I'll secure it with hot glue. These little pine cones remind me of a camping trip that we took last fall. There were these little pine trees that had really short needles, and they had hundreds of tiny pine cones on them. I made 2 of the candle wreath arrangement. I like having more than one of something so that I can put it in more than one place, and then it just helps tie everything together. And I love how these vinyl leaves came out. The wood bead garland came out so beautifully. I'm so happy with it. I plan to put it on a shelf, but you could also drape it over a bowl or put it in the middle of a table with other things for a centerpiece, and it looks so perfect for fall. These Woodland Mini Crate Arrangements look so gorgeous. The way they are, I didn't attach them, so you could place them one on one shelf and another on a different shelf, or you could put them together to make it into a bigger arrangement. Thank you guys so much for joining me here at Posy Lane this week. I had so much fun crafting with you, and I can't wait for next time.